The time 8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by Tilani Pires. The Prime Minister instructs the officials to complete development projects without delay to fulfill public aspirations. The government says over 85,000 Sri Lankan migrant workers have been brought back to the country. Total count of coronavirus recoveries reported in Sri Lanka has exceeded 65,000. Fixed prices are being maintained for 27 essential commodities until April. Laptops are provided under concessionary terms for university-qualified students. Police warn against holding Valentine parties. And on news overseas, Myanmar police fire rubber bullets as protesters defy ban. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa instructs the officials to complete development projects without delay to fulfill public aspirations. Participating in the progress review meeting of the Minister of Urban Development and Housing, he said that he would personally intervene in any problem pertaining to speedy conclusion of these projects. Chairman of the Land Reclamation and Development Corporation, Major General W.D. Soisa, said that 21 children's parks will be constructed in the city and suburbs. Minister Kelly Rambukwala says that over 85,000 Sri Lankan migrant workers have been brought back to the country by last week since the COVID-19 outbreak. The minister added that the government considers all appeals made by such workers to be repatriated. Many of them have been quarantined at government-sponsored centres. Sri Lanka has found the process of repatriating vast numbers of Sri Lankans abroad since the closure of international airports for inward travel hugely challenging. The government coordinated large-scale repatriation missions to bring home different categories of migrants such as students, pilgrims and workers. The Minister of Health says the total count of coronavirus recoveries reported in Sri Lanka has exceeded 65,000 today, with 912 more patients being discharged from hospitals following complete recovery from the virus. The total number of recoveries recorded in Sri Lanka reached 65,053. Sri Lanka has confirmed a total of 70,235 positive cases of coronavirus so far. 4,817 of them are still under medical care at hospitals and treatment centres. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank introduces the Parinatha Vishrama loan scheme to honour and empower pensioners.
Trade Minister Bandula Gunawardena said fixed prices are being maintained for 27 essential commodities for 3 months since yesterday, subject to foreign exchange rates and any taxes that may be imposed on certain imported goods. The Trade Ministry has signed a memorandum of understanding with select local manufacturers and direct importers in this regard as part of a cabinet-approved price stabilisation project. The minister said that these fixed prices will be maintained till April this year. The Minister of Education, Professor G.L. Pires, says that all schools in the country will reopen for all grades from the 15th of March. Meanwhile, many schools in the Western Province will be able to reopen from the 15th of February once the approval is granted for the district recommendations forwarded to health authorities. The District Development Committee has recommended that 412 out of 495 schools in the Colombo district will be able to open for academic activities from the 15th of February. That ends local news for now.
People's Bank introduces the Parinatha Vishrama loan scheme to honour and empower pensioners.
මෙච්චර අඩු පොලියකට
අපේම දරුවෝ වගේ අපට සැලකිල්ල.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The program to provide laptops on a concessionary payment scheme to students who are qualified to enter universities commenced under the patronage of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The President handed over documents to 6 new students at the Presidential Secretariat this morning, marking the inauguration of the program. It has been implemented by the University Grants Commission with the support of People's Bank. 3,000 million rupees has been allocated by the People's Bank for the project. The laptops are being provided with the internet connection, software and the 4-year guarantee period. The loans will be given enabling students to repay the value of laptops in 6 years after finding employment. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And on Watch Light tonight, police said today that stringent action would be taken against those who organize parties or events illegally on Valentine's Day on Sunday without the permission of health authorities. Police spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana said information has reached that several individuals are organizing parties and events through social media. He said considering the prevailing COVID-19 situation, there is a risk of emerging new clusters or sub-clusters from such events or parties. This is for the attention of the general public. That came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines first. Myanmar police fire rubber bullets as protesters defy ban. WHO team says extremely unlikely virus leaked from lab. Emirates Mars mission, Hope probe lines up historic Mars maneuver. Police in Myanmar have fired rubber bullets during a demonstration in the capital Nay Pyi Thaw as thousands defied a ban on protests. Water cannon and tear gas have also been used against protesters, but reports of live bullet usage are unconfirmed. One woman is in hospital in a critical condition with a head wound. Protesters are standing against a coup that removed the elected government last week. A team of international experts investigating the origins of COVID-19 have all but dismissed a theory that the virus came from a laboratory. Peter Ben-Embark said of the World Health Organization WHO mission said it was extremely unlikely that the virus leaked from a lab in the Chinese city of Wuhan. He said more work was needed to identify the source of the virus. The comments came at the conclusion of a joint WHO-China mission. History beckons for the United Arab Emirates as it seeks today to place a probe around Mars. The Hope spacecraft launched from Earth 7 months ago is about to reach the decisive moment in its long journey orbit insertion. Currently moving at over 120,000 kilometers per hour, 75,000 miles per hour, it must fire its braking engines for 27 minutes to be sure of being captured by the planet's gravity. Success would enable Hope to begin its mission to study the Mars climate. Back to the World News headline. Myanmar police fire rubber bullets as protesters defy ban. WHO team says extremely unlikely virus leaked from lab. Emirates Mars mission, Hope probe lines up historic Mars maneuver. That ends World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Coming up, sports news. James Anderson and Jack Leach bowled England to a famous 227-run victory against India on the final day of the first test in Chennai. Anderson inspired England with 3 for 17 and Jack Leach took 4 for 76 as England inflicted just a second home defeat on their hosts in 8 years. India made a decent start in their pursuit of a world record 420 before Anderson swung the game in devastating fashion when introduced. He bowled Shubman Gill and Ajinkya Rahane in an incredible over of reverse swing and had the dangerous Rishabh Pant caught soon after. Virat Kohli held England up in the afternoon session with 72, but he was bowled by one that scuttled low from Ben Stokes. Leach claimed the key wicket of Chiteshwar Pujatra at the start of the day, and Ravichandran Ashwin was bowled out, who put on 54 with Kohli. Jofra Archer sealed the win by having Jasprit Bumrah caught behind 35 minutes before tea. England take a 1-0 lead into the second match of the 4-test series, which begins on Saturday at the same grounds. That ends sports news. Now we continue with development news. The State Ministry of Rural Roads and Other Infrastructure under the Ministry of Highways has planned to construct 5,000 rural bridges across the island. The Cabinet of Ministers has given the approval for the proposal tabled by the Minister of Highways to implement the project. These constructions are proposed under the government's 1,000 kilometers rural road network rehabilitation program. That ends development news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Sri Lankan Airlines has signed an agreement with the BMICH in Colombo to promote MICE tourism. Under the agreement reached with Sri Lankan Holidays, under Sri Lankan Airlines, the BMICH has agreed to provide special rates for facilities obtained by them. That came to you in Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News. Courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion.
It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The delegation of German Industry and Commerce in Sri Lanka said that a record 176 German companies have pledged their commitment to Sri Lanka's market. Andrea Sergan-Rosa, Chief Delegate of German Industry and Commerce in Sri Lanka, said at the launch of the top German brands of 2021 recently that they are very proud that 176 German brands have joined top German brands 2021 this year. This is an increase of 13% compared to that of last year. That's economic news.
Hello, Puta, did you land already?
No, Amma. We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
Oh, really? How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy. She might be feeling very uncomfortable. The airport must be heavily crowded because it's a season.
Amma, calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. There's nothing to worry. Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And now to conclude the weather report, the Met Department says that showers or thunder showers are likely at a few places in the Sabaragamuwa province and in Galle, Matara, Kalutara districts during the evening or night. Misty conditions can be expected in the central Sabaragamuwa, Uva provinces and in the Galle and Matara districts during the morning. That was the weather report. And now to end this news broadcast, the main points once again. The Prime Minister instructs the officials to complete development projects without delay to fulfill public aspirations. The government says over 85,000 Sri Lankan migrant workers have been brought back to the country. Total count of coronavirus recoveries reported in Sri Lanka has exceeded 65,000. Fixed prices are being maintained for 27 essential commodities until April. Laptops are provided under concessionary terms for university qualified students. Police warn against holding Valentine parties. And on news overseas, Myanmar police fire rubber bullets as protesters defy ban. That ends this news broadcast. And now it's back to my very good friend and colleague Niranjan Abhay Sundara after a long, long time on a Tuesday night. Back to you, Niranjan.